Good morning. Welcome to Nurse Mark and the Green Nurse Daily Dose of AFA.
Oh, where we bring you hope and inspiration for growth and healing so you can start your day off the AFA way. And in case you have forgotten what that means, Mark,
it's that you are absolutely fucking amazing exactly as you are.
Yes, you are. Absolutely.
Exactly as you are.
Exactly. So what are we doing here, Mark? We're here to illuminate the plant. We're here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We just all deserve to feel good.
We really do. So today is Friday,
Cheers.
January 8th, 2021. Happy Friday, everybody.
What a
Friday's
week
one
it's
of my
been.
favorite days, you know?
Yes.
Really
It is. Fun fact Friday, fun Friday, fabulous Friday, fantastic Friday. Let's make it, a
Freaky
positive
Friday.
Freaky Friday.
Yeah. So the daily love today was a good one. It was from Dr. Wayne Dyer. God bless him. He was so wonderful. Wonderful human being. Yeah. And so the reading today was from his book, You Are What You Think. And it was about intention and the importance of setting an intention. So here's what he said. Being creative means trusting your own purpose and having an attitude of unbending intent in your daily thoughts and activities. A way to start giving them form is to literally put them in writing. And so he wrote out some intentions, and here's what he had on his wall in Maui. He lived in Hawaii. My intentions for all of my activities to be directed by spirit. My intention is to love and radiate my love into my writing and any who might read these words. And my intention is to do all that I can to elevate the collective consciousness to be more closely in rapport with the spirit of the originating supreme power of intention. Jerry, power of intention, right? So if you've read The Law of Attraction by Esther and Jerry Hicks, pretty well-known book. If you've read that, they're very, very, very much talking about intention. And she talks about setting
language,
segment intention. So during your day, you have these periods of time that you do certain things. Like today, we're going to meet and talk about our client experience from beginning to end, right?
Yes.
So I'm setting an intention. We're setting an intention that during that time and at the end of that time, we will have clearly identified the perfect client experience that we want our clients to have. That's our intention. You can do that with any segment of your day.
Yes. And so I'm going to give you a couple of examples, which are kind of fun, right? So I, in the morning, sometimes when I come back into my body from sleep, I have these epiphanies. So I've been doing the morning meditation, silencing my mind and just listening, quietly for the voice of spirit. So I was thinking this morning about education and bringing these examples to our shows. So I was thinking of, we have the word of the day. So I was going to go through the alphabet. So what came into my mind, the word of the day, I was like, Spirit, what is this all about? The letter A. I'm like, okay, A is a word. Okay, so what does that mean? So I was like, I'm supposed to remember A words, right? So the first word that came to my mind was Ananda, right? A, Ananda. And one of the bliss molecules, anandamine, right? Anandamine is a bliss molecule. And that bliss molecule is a molecule that we make. It's an internal endogenous cannabinoid that mimics THC. So this was a really cool, I'm like, yes. So we can bring educational words to the show about the cannabis plant. So I was like,
that's a great intention.
Right? My intention is to bring education through letters and how we can remember these letters. So here's some A words that came up to me. Ananda, anandamine, awe, awesome, aware, absolutely, amazing, ask for help, angels, awareness, appreciate, aromatherapy. So I was like,
get some of those terpenes, baby.
Terpenes in. Then the next thing that came to me, I know I'm such an eager beaver today, but it was it was really, really inspirational for me and about illuminating how I can make a difference in the world. So ABC, here we are, the romper room. We were looking into the calendar. We were looking into the screen yesterday, and we were thinking about, saying hello to everyone. So what about
I see you, Carrie Lee.
I see you, Carrie Lee. I have to look up to see.
Hey,
I see
Glenn.
you, Glenn.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
So my last tool of the day, because we're going to talk about breath work in a minute and something that you have going on, was the ABCs. Okay, so what we learn as nurses, the most important thing is airway.
Breathing, circulation. You got those 3 things going, we can work with you. If you don't have those, our options are limited.
Our options are limited. Yeah.
I got to tell you, Sherry, so just one thing. Morning, Cheryl. I got to tell you, so just touching base on intention before we move on into this thing. I set an intention in 2014, and it kind of freaked people out because I said, I said it out loud everywhere I went. And my intention was that I would be love in every interaction with every person I met and every being that I was in contact with. And I said it like I would say it. I would go out to dinner with people I had just met and I'd say, hey, this is my intention. And it freaks people out, because obviously with love, people have this checklist of, well, if they do this, 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 and this, I can love them. I was getting rid of all of that and just being love. And so my life has changed in the most amazing fucking ways because I have that intention, and it's still my intention today. So
yes,
that's intention. Yes. So
that is intention. I absolutely love it. So let's think about how we can bring cannabis into the ABCs.
Yeah.
Right. So airway, we're taking that deep inhale, right?
Yeah.
Ananda, we're bringing in the Ananda, our own bliss-like molecule, into our body. Breathing. So when we're taking that deep breath, we got to remember that we're inhaling bliss, right? And then circulation. As we circulate, as we do the inhale, exhale, and we circulate all of that beautiful cannabinoid energy all through our umbrella. Yeah, so it's so cool. And so Mark, so let's get into the ABCs, breath work. Mark has an amazing, and we're going to do a separate little segment on this a little bit later.
We are.
Breath work meditation group coming up.
I had a few months ago, I'm a member of Entrepreneurs Organization, and one of the groups subset groups that I belong to is this sort of, experiential consciousness expansion group. We're on WhatsApp, and we, it's around the world, all sorts of different people from around the world. Anyway, we had a facilitated breathwork course, and ours was a week long, and it was every day, and it was 75 minutes every day with an amazing facilitator out of São Paulo, Brazil, by the name of Jacques Taron. And Jacques is just one of my favorite people now. We're just great friends as a result of this. And I asked him if he would if he would put a coursework together for us at the Green Nurse. And of course he said yes. And so we are going to have a 3-week breathwork course. It's twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it does last 75 minutes. And so in this 3-week course of time, you will be introduced to breath work, different modalities, the meanings behind it, and we will do breath work every single one of those sessions. And let me tell you, if you've never done breath work, it is an opening to another world. It is transformational. And so we're talking, the name of the course is Cultivating Resilience and oh, wait a minute, I can't remember what the name of it was.
Cultivating Resilience and Absolute Awesomeness.
Hey, I like that. I like that.
Breath. Yes. Yeah, we're going to have the link. We're going to have a write-up on it.
Yeah, when Jacques and I talked about it, it's Cultivating Resilience, Health, and Hope. So this is an opportunity, guys, to start 2021 in the most amazing way. You will leave there with breath work practices that you can use every single day. And I'm just telling you, it is. I was blown away, and I'm a trained yoga instructor, right, and have been since 1999. And so as part of yoga, you do a lot of breath work stuff, pranayama work. And
breath work, moving meditation.
This was another stratosphere. Absolutely crazy.
Well, I'm just going to share a
you'll
quick
see details
experience.
coming up.
Yeah, quick experience with that breath work, which is just very powerful because we're talking about airway and ananda. So this type of breath work will stimulate your own endocannabinoid system, your internal endogenous cannabinoids, that anandamine, right? That bliss-like experience. So when Mark introduced this 44 breath work to me, I actually did a sample of it. And the bottom line was I had an amazing internal psychedelic experience without taking any psychedelics. It was really
external.
No external. It was all it was a huge opening of my mind because I was getting oxygen to places in my brain that has never been oxygenated before.
Yeah. Think about it. I mean, we shallow breathe most of the time.
Yeah.
We automatically do it. We shallow breathe. But when you change that and you actually, it's like a meditation, like you're very aware of your breath and you're changing the rhythm and the pace and the depth, it is phenomenal. So you'll see more of that coming up. But January 25th is when we're going to kick it off. And God, we hope you'll be a part of it. But we got to limit it to 30 because
30 people.
We need it to be an intimate group. And, the sessions will be recorded. You'll have access to them in a Dropbox and a Google Drive. So there you go. Anyway,
there we go. That's awesome. And so stay tuned. We're going to do a little segment on just that in a little while this morning.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. What we're doing over the course of the year and the months, we're bringing awareness to health awareness themes, and how we can discuss these health awareness themes in regards to cannabinoid therapeutics and the endocannabinoid system. So one of the health awareness themes this month is National Birth Defect Prevention Month. So I was looking at that and I was like, God, this is a hot topic, right? Pregnancy,
it's a
cannabis.
touchy subject. Holy cow.
Well,
Michelle, you're going to love the breath work. Yeah. It's a touchy subject, Sherry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we both have our own personal opinions, which we'll get to at the end, but lay it on us. Lay it on us.
I'm going to lay it on. Okay. So I'm just going to start off by saying you all know that I'm very pro cannabis, but we're going to talk about things that may not be so popular and a lot of people in the community may disagree. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because it's really, really important for everyone to be educated in a way to be empowered to make decisions that are best for you.
Right.
I have a child that was born with a rare genetic illness. Every day goes in the back of my mind of, was there something that I did that could have caused this? Right. So in the beginning, he was born with a rare genetic disorder, craniofacial anomalies. What they told me was going to happen to him never really happened. It didn't manifest it just didn't. But we went through that time where, the why, could I have done something different? What was I taking? Exactly. Retrospect, years later, we discovered it was a gene. We actually discovered the genetic anomaly. So anyways, and it's very rare. So let's get back to the whole perinatal period. So there's risks associated with every substance. Okay. We don't realize that. Every substance, caffeine, sugar, medications, over-the-counter medications, foods that we eat. Right. All of these things can present a risk to the developing baby, and should truly be used sparingly.
Smoking's conclusively proved to have lower birth weight and just a lot of different things. And we'll get to that too. Go ahead.
Totally. We'll get to that. So, studies, is there research? Are there studies out there? So basically there's mostly retrospective studies. And the interesting thing about these studies is that they've failed to conclude the following: that there is any fetal, infant, baby, child harm associated with cannabis exposure during perinatal periods.
Right.
However, absence of confirmed harm doesn't necessarily mean that it's safe. So that's so
now there are some studies out there, Sherry, that have shown that there are some behavioral issues later on in during early adolescence or, in grammar school time, that there's a little bit of a difference in behavioral, but the studies aren't conclusive as to, is it anything to do with the environment that the children are living in? Is it they don't get rid of the confounding factors? You know what I mean?
Well,
so
here it is.
Really not that accurate, right? So what it is, Sherry, is that they're funded to find a negative outcome, in my opinion.
I agree too. And here's the other thing too that's really, really important there's a lot of ways to critically evaluate research. One of the things that always comes in the back of my mind is our endocannabinoid system, how it is constantly changing depending upon what we're doing or not doing in our lives. So are all of these other factors, right? Lifestyle, diet, nutrition, supplements, exercise, stress management, sleep, are all of these other external factors taken into place when it comes to studying cannabis?
Right.
That always comes up in the back of my mind.
Right.
So,
yeah. So when we're talking about studies, there were studies done quite a long time ago in Jamaica. And in Jamaica, cannabis is part of the society, right? I mean, there's a religion,
part of the culture.
Rastafarian is a religion that they use cannabis as a sacred plant.
It's all about love is my religion.
There have been studies done that followed children, from prenatal all the way through to age 5, age 10, and those studies found no effect. Okay. Yeah. So you have some studies that say that there is a possibility of effect. Then you have studies that say there's no effect. So the bottom line is we don't know, but what we do know is that it's not as if it's like things that definitively cause a teratogen. It's not something that definitively causes a birth defect. We can't find the evidence for that.
And so that would be a black box warning, right? Right. Black box warning.
Black box warning. Don't take this while you're pregnant because it will cause a birth defect. And we know that. I mean, that's why they recommend don't drink alcohol while you're pregnant, because it's a teratogen. During that process of that baby growing inside the uterus, if you take alcohol at different times, there's a possibility that it could interrupt that growth pattern and cause a birth defect. We know that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So when we talk about like research, product safety, to be fair, pregnant and breastfeeding women tend to be precluded from clinical drug studies. So that's number one.
Right.
The next thing too about product safety. So, and this has to do with research, because if you think about it, if they can't study pregnant and breastfeeding women, how can they prove a product to be safe for use during pregnancy and breastfeeding? So
how do they?
So the statement that, I've heard is that there's not any proven cannabis products, strains, cannabinoids that have been confirmed to be proven safe. Well,
do they do that? I mean, it's the same thing as
it's like that.
Yeah. It's the same thing with like benzodiazepines. Have they done rigorous scientific studies with just a pregnant population?
Yeah.
Or have they just used anecdotal evidence that they haven't seen any birth defects in people who are taking benzodiazepines over time?
Yes.
Right?
So yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it's stigma, Sherry. I mean, I just think it's stigma.
I agree.
It's left over from our 80 plus years of negative marketing.
Yep. And so truly, when in my opinion, this is just my own opinion. You guys
your personal one. Research. We're not making any recommendations here.
No medical claims.
We're saying no medical claims. We're just saying this is my opinion and your opinion.
Yeah. So my opinion, the risk to most pregnant women who use cannabis is the risk of child protective services, intervention, and interference. So this has destroyed families.
They've taken children away from parents who have tested from women who have tested positive for cannabis use. And that is criminal.
Totally criminal.
Should be ashamed. We should be ashamed that this happens in today's world.
And so every state is different. Every obstetrician is different, gynecologist. You just don't know, to have these discussions. So I just want to tell you some of the things that I've seen happen here. So when women that are newly pregnant and go to their obstetrician and they say that they're pregnant and it's confirmed, if they admit that they've used cannabis, they're going to test them for it. Yep. If it's a positive screen for THC, this can result in ongoing issues, and the last thing a mom needs
legal
is
issues,
trust, right? So if you admit you use cannabis, they'll test you at your next doctor's visit. They will also test you upon delivery of the baby.
Yeah.
And if you're positive, they'll test the baby. And if the baby's positive, there's a potential that they can call Child Protective Services. And a lot of women have been stripped of their right to breastfeed.
Yeah.
oh, that's just like, oh.
And I am a huge supporter of breastfeeding. I mean,
Oh my God. Like,
oh my God.
I did it for 3 years. So it was like my first one was a year and a half. My second one was 3 years. My third one,
God bless. I mean, you gave your children so much more of a head start.
Nutrients.
In their immunity and everything. I mean, it's so important. I mean, just latching on and being close to mom during that time, that alone is a huge benefit.
Well, here we go too. We produce these like the anandamide molecules totally being released in our breast milk, right? And the baby's getting this bliss-like molecule in the breast milk, which stimulates appetite.
Right. Of course. I mean,
I know, really interesting. So really quickly too, so we'll just get in. So cannabis is medicine, but everyone needs to know it's very much an illegal substance at the federal level.
It is.
And basically this has resulted in a litany of straight up bad policies and legislation that do more harm than good. So we need to think about loving families and we need to educate. So the thing that's nice too, there's many services outside the traditional system. I call them birth workers, midwives, doulas, lactation consultants. And generally these types of holistic practitioners, they totally prioritize the needs of their clients instead of judging them and viewing them, the whole process. They look at pregnancy as an experience for this woman, as a life experience. And they're generally more open to their clients using cannabis as medicine, right? So the other thing too, is that when I'm working with pregnant women, and I have worked with a lot of pregnant women, we look at the following: risk-benefit ratio. Okay. Why are you taking this? What are you looking to manage? And are there other health and wellness tools that are available that support and nourish the endocannabinoid system? So you may not, right? Cannabinoid.
It's empowering the patient. It's empowering the client to make a decision for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not saying do this. We're saying here is the education.
Here's the education. You decide. Yeah.
That's the way it should be in healthcare anyway.
Well, that's what it is the revolution is healthcare is patient empowerment.
Patient
right? And so
client
empowerment, client illuminating. We're here to illuminate the plant and to help educate you, illuminate education, for you all to make the right decision. So here it is: risk-benefit ratio, legal risk reduction. If I knew then when I was pregnant what I knew now, I may have approached my pregnancies just a little bit differently. One of my pregnancies, I was pregnant with twins, and I lost a twin. I had hyperemesis, and I had to take pharmaceuticals. I literally was almost hospitalized from dehydration. So one of the twins died of an unknown cause. So it's always in the back of my mind. It's just that question. If I took cannabinoids, could this been different? So that's just something that I think about. However, I'm going to get back to, if you are pregnant and using cannabis, please reach out to a cannabis specialist, a clinical nurse, the green nurses. Like I said, there's other health and wellness tools, and we're not saying to stop using cannabis, but we want you to be educated on the endocannabinoid
system. Decide the risk-benefit ratio.
Risk-benefit ratio. So we're here for you. So this has been a long one, but it's been another fun one. And basically, if you or someone you love is suffering from chronic illness, debilitating illness, chronic pain, if you or someone you love is interested in learning how to use cannabis as a health and wellness tool, or if you're new to cannabis and you have that curiosity in how to have an adult use recreational experience, listen, we can do that here at The Green Nurse.
Yes,
we can. www.thegreennurse.com.
That's right. And if you're in the healthcare space, if you're helping people be healthy in any way, and you want to learn more about cannabinoids, about all of the different methodologies and things that will help regulate your endocannabinoid system, including cannabis, and bringing that into your practice, join us at the Green Nurse community, www.thegreennurse.com.
Mark, well, Sherry, what kind of a day are we going to have today?
AFA day, of course. Absolutely. Oh, you know what my word was before we go?
Oh,
intention.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to blow you off, Nurse
No, that's
Mark.
good. No. I just remembered. I didn't do that. But here's my intention. I'm going to say what my word is. Intention. Okay. AFA day. Right. What's it all about, Sherry?
It's about living your best life.
It
We'll
is. It is. All right, folks. We'll see you on Monday morning. Have a great weekend. Woo!